So, I'll admit it, I cheated. But before you grab your pitchforks and torches, let me explain. It wasn't planned, okay? I didn't wake up one day and say, "Today is the day I'm going to be unfaithful." Nope. It just sort of happened, and let me tell you, it was a complete disaster. And honestly, it's kind of funny now. I had been with Mark for 2 years, 2 blissful years, filled with inside jokes, pizza nights, and lots of Netflix and chill, the literal kind. Things were good, but as they often say, the grass is always greener on the other side. That's when I met Steve. Steve was the kind of guy who looked like he'd just stepped out of a soap opera, and I couldn't resist his charm. He had that bad boy meets puppy dog vibe that girls like me can't resist. You know the type, smirking while fixing his hair and acting like he has secrets. But really, he just doesn't know how to fold a fitted sheet. I didn't plan on it happening. But one night, I found myself at a bar with Steve. Just a casual hangout, right? Except that casual hangout turned into a full-on flirt fest. And before I knew it, I was doing that thing. The thing you always hear about, but never think you'll actually do. Yep, I kissed Steve. Big mistake. The worst part? I didn't feel guilty in the moment. In fact, I kind of felt like I was in a rom-com montage. You know, the part where everything goes slow-mo and the violins play. But then reality hit me like a cold splash of water. I was so not in a rom-com. I had a boyfriend, a good one. And now I had kissed some guy who probably thought his hair was more important than his personality. Here's where it gets even funnier. The next day, I spent hours crafting the perfect text to Mark. Something that would explain my behavior while also protecting my own fragile ego. But guess what? He didn't text back. And then, when he did, he casually mentioned, "Oh, I was busy. You didn't text me back last night, so I spent the evening watching a documentary about penguins." My heart sank. Of course, he would be watching penguins. The man had a soul of gold and an obsession with penguins that could only be rivaled by actual penguins. And I, the person he trusted, had gone and kissed a Steve. So I did what any person in a situation like this would do. I panicked. I called Steve. Not to apologize, mind you, but to explain how I was emotionally spiraling. Steve, in his infinite wisdom, told me, "You need to stop thinking. Just do whatever you feel." Which, in hindsight, was probably the worst advice anyone could give someone who had just cheated. Long story short, Mark and I talked. I confessed. And apologized in a way that made me sound like I was auditioning for an Oscar. And somehow, we're still together. And Steve? He texted me later to tell me he was sorry, but not sorry. Apparently, I had ruined his chance of a perfect date with someone else. Now, we laugh about it. The whole thing has become a joke between Mark and me, and we never speak of Steve again. But one thing's for sure, I'll never again trust a guy who doesn't know how to fold a fitted sheet.